talk about the man in New York, Zach Wilson. A similar situation, right? Although a little different at the same time. You don't have a college coach transitioning into the NFL. You have one of the best defensive coordinators in Robert Saleh coming from San Francisco, taking the helm of this new look New York Jets team. Zach Wilson, I've said it time and time again. My views on him are very much well known. I love the guy. However, I've taken a moment to kind of sit back and really look at what I'm saying. And my comp for him has been Josh Allen. Josh Allen, through and through, right? And I think the more and more I really watch this guy play and I look at his tapes, I don't know if he's there quite yet, and mainly because he's a little bit smaller. And if you look at Zach Wilson's history, he's injury prone. And his highlights where he's bashing into people, he's not afraid to get contact or anything like that, well, that's a whole new story at the NFL level. So it makes me a little bullish on Zach Wilson. Josh Allen in his rookie season, he finished as the fantasy QB 18, which is not bad by any means, especially when he caught fire towards the end of that season. Zach Wilson, Jets, Robert Saleh, a lot of weapons, Denzel Mims. I'm eager to see what you guys think about it. Joe, I'll start with you before I give my thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't know about the Josh Allen comp, but what I will say is that Zach Wilson is going to be a good NFL quarterback. And I'm a little bit lower on him year one, just because I think that there's a lot of stuff going on in New York. But what I think that we can all agree on is he's going to be starting day one, right? And he does have rushing ability, and he's plenty tall enough. It's more so that he's just not as physically big. But guys tend to bulk up heading into the NFL, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him put on 10 pounds of muscle this year, right? He's not Mac Jones where he's coming in with a gut. Like, he's pretty well beefed up, but he just needs to get bigger, right? So the thing about him is that he's got the weapons now, right? They got Mims. They drafted Elijah Moore, which I hear is like one of the best wide receiver prospects that came out this year. He was, I think, maybe even projected third and then ended up falling to like the fifth wide receiver off the board. And they have Corey Davis, who had a blow-up year last year. So he's got weapons. And then they took a running back, right? So he's got weapons. I mostly just want to see how they figure out the offense. I think his potential could be the best quarterback in this draft fantasy-wise. But he also, year one, could be number 4 if Lance starts to play. And I'll talk about those other guys a little bit later. But year one, I don't like him as much. But dynasty-wise, I'm not shying away from this guy one bit.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with everything you're saying. Justin, what about you?
I would draft him right after Lawrence. There's no doubt about it. I'm still hesitant because it's the Jets, and I'm not a big fan of their offense as a whole, so I wonder what weapons he has over there. I hope big things for Mims so they can maybe make a young connection and create something over there. But they did get Corey Davis too, so there's better weapons than last year. I'm just not high overall, but no doubt in Dynasty I'm taking him quick, and in redraft I would draft him, but not to be my QB1, that's for sure. But he has upside. That there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, and they still have Jamison Crowder from last year. Joe said also they drafted Elijah Moore. I beg to differ that his weapons coming into his rookie season are, if way better actually than Josh Allen and what he had in Buffalo his first year.
Yeah.
So there's more room for success there. Jacob, what do you think?
This is the guy I'm most unsure about in this of the top 4 guys, I'll say, because to me there's the top 4 and then Mac Jones is a distant 5th, which he has upside too, and we'll talk about him. But I'm just not like I can see. I think it's my disbelief in the Jets, and I know that they have a new coach and new offensive coordinator and hopefully a new culture, but I'm still like, this is the one where it's like I have to see it before I believe it, before I even start to believe it. So I do think he's going to be good, but the problem is when there's multiple rookies drafted in the first round, it's very rare that two of them end up being long-term fantasy options. But let's just look at redraft, right? The first year, I don't think I'm going to touch him in one quarterback redraft. It's just unless like the quarterbacks go early and then I really need one at the end of the draft, possibly. But to me, he's more of a long-term dynasty option and a super flex, like a redraft super flex. I'm definitely eyeing Zach Wilson for my second or third quarterback. But I just think, yeah, and he does have better options. Oh, wow. I guess my neighbors are deciding to be loud. But he has better options. He has better options than what's his name? Sam Darnold ever had. He has Corey Davis and Elijah Moore and
second year Denzel Mims,
Crowder, and who knows how, maybe Herndon can finally get it together with this new quarterback. So I'm liking this, and they're going to have a decent run game hopefully too. So we'll see.
Well, guys, sorry to cut you off, Gabe.
Go ahead.
One thing, he arguably has better weapons than Trevor Lawrence, right? Like, we just spent a lot of time talking about Trevor Lawrence's weapons, and he arguably has better weapons, right? Like, Corey Davis is maybe better than Shark. And you don't think so? Like, I don't know. Jacob, we'll wait till he gets his headphones on. Or Jacob, who do you think has better weapons day one, the Jets or the Jaguars?
That is close, man.
Well, I'll tell you,
it's definitely close because, like, okay, let's say Chark and Corey Davis are. Let's just say they're equal, right?
That's what I just said.
Say that, and then, but I personally like Chark more.
Okay,
but let's just say they're equal, and then how does the rest shake out? I like the running backs in Jacksonville more, but does that help or hurt them?
Who knows?
Yeah. So it just depends. So then you're looking at the second wide receiver, and then it's pretty actually similar to me. I would give the slight edge because I like Crowder. I think Crowder is a super underrated wide receiver. Like, he just, like, if he was playing like anywhere else, really, like he would be a pretty damn, and he has been a high end wide receiver too some years. Crowder has. So it really just depends. I would lean Zach Wilson, honestly, because you got Corey Davis, Jamison Crowder, Elijah Moore, 2 or 3 running backs.
And Michael Carter is a pass catching back, right? So where James Robinson we know that he can carry the rock for 1,200 yards is what he did last year, something like that, guys.
Yeah.
And the Jets don't have that guy. So, and then they're Michael.
They got Tevin Coleman. Come on,
man, give me a break. I'm higher on LaMichael Kareem than that guy. But
Robinson rushed for 1,070 and had 49 receptions on the back. And you also have Marvin Jones Jr. coming in as a second wide receiver, who's always underrated.
True.
Then you got Julio in training, Laviska Shenault coming on to work the mid route.
Julio in training, relax.
I know it's closer than I'm making it seem.
Hold on, Justin's gonna draft Laviska number 4 in our draft, isn't he?
He's there.
I take the Jags upside
204 more like
for sure, because you saw what Urban Meyer said. We drafted Etienne, and then we got Hyde. He's like, we got a 1-2-3 punch. So they're going to be looking to pass to him on third downs all the time. So I'm looking for that upside more than I'm worrying about Tevin Coleman and Ty Johnson and P. Ryan. Come on.
The Jets running backs are not that good, but that's more of a reason why they may rely on Zach Wilson, whereas the Jacksonville Jaguars have the leverage of that 1-2-3 punch to lean on, to run, and be a heavy rushing team. Now, we'll see. We don't know. Robert Saleh, Mike LaFleur, they come from the Niners. The Niners are very shifty. They run a lot. So we'll see if they take that and go there, or if they kind of just let hands off. Let's let Zach Wilson become Justin Herbert this year. So who knows? Or Josh Allen, So it's going to be interesting, guys.
It's going to be very interesting. And like I said about Trevor Lawrence, kind of having that top 20 finish, somewhere around there, I can see Zach Wilson almost replicating that, whether he's hot to start the year because of his rushing ability or simmers early on and then takes off towards the end of the year. I can see them finishing almost identically, whether it's like 21, 22, 23 spot or like 19, 20 spot. wherever they may fall, I can see their finishes being very close